Tonight, on the Drtv main news, Independent National Electoral Commission releases results for Federal Capital Territory local government elections. Governor Okowa inaugurates reconstituted Delta State Traditional Rulers Council. Delta State government closes school over death of pupils. On sport, the Tigers defeat Mali, qualify for FIBA 2022 World Cup. Good evening and welcome to the DRTV main news. My name is Harry Awoso. Have you given someone a reason to smile today? To get regular news updates from DRTV and Melody FM, visit our website dbsworry.com. You can download our app DBS Worry on Google Play Store. For live stream of our news bulletins and morning programs, like our page Delta Rainbow Television DRTV Worry on Facebook, or watch through our app or website. Through our social media platforms, you can follow DBS Worry anytime from any part of the world. The People's Democratic Party (PDP) has emerged the winner of the chairmanship election held on Saturday in Wari Area Council of the Federal Capital Territory (FCT). John Gabaya, who is the incumbent chairman and candidate of the PDP, polled 13,045 votes to defeat his closest challenger Aruna Shekwulu of the All Progressive Congress (APC), who got 7,697 votes. Candidate of the All Progressive Grand Alliance, Abubakar Abdullahi, came third with 603 votes. The returning officer for the chairmanship election in Wari, Amuche Madu, declared Gabaya the winner and returned him as duly elected. The Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) also updated its result viewing portal to reflect the result. APC won the chairmanship election in Gwangwalada Area Council, but the PDP won a majority of the councillorship seats. Out of the total of the 10 councillorship seats in the council area, the PDP won 6, while the APC took 4. The candidate of the APC, Abubakar Jibri Giri, was declared winner of the Gwangwalada Area Council chairmanship election by INEC. Giri polled 11,125 votes to beat Muhammad Kazim of the PDP, who got 9,597 votes. Ijo Mandate Group has again called for the support of all critical stakeholders and Deltans in general for Delta Central Senatorial District to produce the next governor of Delta State. The group, in a communique at the end of its meeting, which had in attendance thousands of Ijo politicians drawn from Bomadi, Patani, Brutu, Warri Southwest and Warri North local government areas of the state, resolved that it is not yet for Ijo ethnic nationality to produce the governor of Delta State. The reports.
National Coordinator of Ijo Mandate Group, Honorable Dagidi Andai, who read the communique on behalf of the group, urged aspirants of Ijo extraction to patiently wait for 2031, saying that it is the turn of Delta Central Senatorial District to produce the governor of Delta State in 2023. Honorable Andai stressed that in the spirit of their collective brotherhood, the Ijos must jettison any 2023 governorship ambition and join forces with other people of goodwill to support the Delta Central to produce the next governor of the state so as not to compromise the targeted Ijo 2031 governorship. He stated that although the clamor for Ijo 2023 governorship, which is apparently a run against the tide, is constitutionally not out of order, his group's resolve to support the DC 2023 course was born out of an evaluation and understanding of the current political trend in Delta State that is obviously not in favor of aspirants from Delta South Senatorial District. The national coordinator noted that the Ijo Mandate Group is a pan-Delta in nature and should not be misconstrued as anti-Ijaw, maintaining that its resolves to support Delta Central for 2023 governorship race was the result of a constructive analysis and evaluation of the politics in the state as it affects the interest and political survival of the Ijaw ethnic nationality in the state.
The wise man will always say, we can't put all our eggs into one basket. If they claim and that they are right to hesitate for a dog governorship in one section, we too are here, we feel that it is the turn of the Yoruba people and we are supporting them to achieve that aim. And I tell you, mark it today, that aim, let no man deceive you that the Yoruba governorship slot, Yoruba governorship position is almost 99% achieved.
Honorable Andai explained that deliberate strategy was required to project and promulgate the Ijaw 2031 governorship interest in the state, emphasizing that such moves should not be misunderstood on the altar of political jobbing. The coordinator and other members who spoke during the meeting called on Governor Ifeanyi Okowa to, as a matter of political expediency, convoke a conference of Pan-Delta state ethnic nationalities to make a formal declaration emphasizing the need and importance of an unbreakable senatorial zoning formula for the governorship of the state. The Ijaw Mandate Group maintained that in the interest of inclusive participation of all ethnic groups in the governance of the multi-ethnic state, Delta Central should produce the next governor of the state.
Ahead of the 2023 general elections, the Executive Assistant to the Delta State Governor on Community and Rural Development, Dr. Andrew Omagbemi Igba, has formally declared interest to contest the People's Democratic Party (PDP) primaries for Warri Southwest constituency seat in the Delta State House of Assembly. Dr. Igba, who made the official declaration during a consultative meeting with PDP executive in Warri Southwest local government area, said he has the experience and contact to provide quality representation to his people at the State Assembly. The report.
The executive assistant to the governor, Dr. Andrew Igba, said he had always been deeply involved in activities that promote peace, good governance, and development in the state, stressing that his desire to serve as the state legislature is to further better the lots of the people. Dr. Igba explained that the interactive meeting was to interface with the party executives to officially inform them of his intention to represent the good people of Warri Southwest in the State Assembly. The former PDP youth leader described the 68-member local government area and ward executives as super delegates, maintaining that their individual and collective supports were required to bring the laudable dream to reality. Dr. Igba appealed to the delegates to vote for him en bloc, and together they can make Warri Southwest great, saying that the people know him very well and that they know he can always deliver. He emphasized that the project is for the betterment of Warri Southwest and would be most grateful if he emerged as the candidate for PDP for the State Assembly election in the 2023 general polls.
In the State House of Assembly, as the legislators, is to make laws for the good people of Delta State. Outside that, we have what we call oversight function. Oversight function is to actually go beyond being the legislators to see how you can drive development projects to your people, as it has to do with infrastructure, human capital development. But that I can't stay here publicly to tell you that I'm going to bring health, I'm going to do school, I'm going to do water, because that is not an executive position. But I can verbally tell you that if you elect me by the grace of God in those positions, all the good things that is required to our constituency will get to us by the grace of God.
Dr. Igba, who is the president of Eric Igba Empowerment Foundation and multiple awards winner, commended the euphoria that greeted his declaration to contest the Warri Southwest constituency seat and appealed to all to remain firm in their support. Responding to questions raised by one of the party officials, Dr. Igban stated that his aspiration to represent the people of Warri Southwest was to further enhance the quality of life and infrastructure in the constituency. He assured that besides the primary responsibility of lawmaking by a legislator, all that the oversight function of a lawmaker entails would be vigorously pursued. The chairman PDP Warri Southwest Chief Favours Okomo commended Dr. Andrew Igban for coming to interface with statutory delegates in the local government area ahead of the party primaries. Chief Zokumo expressed happiness over the caliber of personalities in the local government area who are showing interest in various elective positions, maintaining that what makes a party strong is when great men contest elections. Stressing that PDP is one family, Chief Zokumo said the party would provide a neutral platform for every aspirant and urged all to play by the rules.
You are a party man. The message you have conveyed to not just the super delegates, but to all other party faithfuls will take it home. And so, for disclosing your intention and respectfully gathering all of us to convey your message, we will not forget today.
Some supporters of the Andrew Igban State Assembly project commended his aspiration to represent the people of Warri Southwest, saying that his antecedents will give him victory.
Governor Ifeanyi Okowa will on Tuesday, February 15, 2022, inaugurate the chairman and members of the reconstituted Delta State Traditional Rulers Council. A statement by the Secretary to the State Government, Patrick Uka, said the inauguration will take place at the Delta State Traditional Rulers Council Secretariat of Mariam Babangida Road, Asaba, beginning at 12 noon. The statement advised members of the council, their families, and invited guests to be seated by 11:30 a.m. for the ceremony. The reconstituted Delta State Traditional Rulers Council has as chairman His Royal Majesty Major General Felix Mudiakore, retired Ore I, the Roger of Okpe Kingdom. First Vice Chairman His Royal Majesty Pere Stanley Luke Karalama VIII, the Pere of Akubeneme. Second Vice Chairman His Royal Majesty Agbogidi Obi Erin Kikachuku, the Obi of Ubulu Uno. Lagos State government has arrested the developer of the three-story building that collapsed in the Yaba area of Lagos on Saturday. A statement by the State Commissioner for Physical Planning and Urban Development, Dr. Idris Salaku, said the government moved in swiftly to minimize impact at the site on Saturday. Dr. Salaku also added that preliminary findings indicated that the site had been sealed off twice by the Lagos State Building Control Agency in 2021 for non-compliance with building regulations, after which the site was abandoned. However, the developer later broke the government seal, sneaked into the site, and recommenced reconstruction without official authorization. Lagos State government noted that the developer in charge of the site has since been arrested and handed over to the police while rescue operation continues. Ogun State Commissioner of Police Larry Bakole has ordered the arrest of youths who set ablaze two men found with human head in Oja Odan Yewa North local government area of the state on Saturday. The deceased Idowu Afolabi and Johnson Adebiyi were detained at Oja Odan police station for being in possession of fresh human head. The youth however stormed the police station, broke in and dragged out the two suspects whom they set ablaze in front of the police station. Reacting on Sunday, the Ogun State Police Command said there will be no room for jungle justice in the state, warning the general public that such barbaric and unlawful action will no longer be tolerated. The CP explained that it is only the court that has the power to impose punishment on anyone found guilty of a crime, not an individual or group of people. He also appealed to members of the public to have confidence in the nation's criminal justice system and desist from self-help, saying such is aligned to the law of the land. Lagos Rapid Response Squad has recovered an AK-47 and a pump-action gun loaded with 8 rounds of live ammunition in Aja area of the state. Police Public Relations Officer PPRO for Lagos Command CSP Adekunle Ajebutu said the guns were recovered on Saturday with a hung and plier inside a black sack. The State Commissioner of Police Abiodun Alabi commended the RRS commander and his men for the recovery and his strategic informant who provided information leading to the recovery. The CP has, however, directed that a district investigation should be carried out by the command's special squad with a view to arresting the suspected robbers who could have used the weapons to cause serious harm to innocent people in the state. Properties worth millions of naira have been destroyed in a midnight fire incident at Atakumoso Center Market, Ilesa in Osun State. The fire outbreak, according to eyewitnesses, started at the post office section of the market some minutes past 2 a.m. Sunday morning. Men of the Federal and Osun State Fire Services made frantic efforts to prevent the fire from spreading to other parts of the market. Also, a combined team of men and officers from Ayeso A and Ijamo B divisions of the Nigerian police were on ground to prevent looting as shop owners and sympathizers stormed the market to salvage some of their goods. Though the fire was brought under control around 4 a.m., fire service personnel on ground said the cause of the fire was yet to be ascertained. Most affected were boutiques, food items, and provision shops located in the market. The Osun State government had commissioned the new market after the old one was destroyed in a similar fire outbreak some years back. You're still watching the DRTV main news. We'll be right back with more news after this break.
Stand up for the champions, stand up.
The board, management and staff of Delta Broadcasting Service Warri congratulate our staff that emerged as best staff for the year 2021. Obase Isonguyo, overall best staff. Jennifer Orugbo, presenter of the year 2021. Joelson Asiete, reporter of the year 2021. Essay Omu, best staff, news and current affairs department. Johnson Obasaje, best staff, programs department. Godwin Akeze, best staff, engineering department. Ufoma Omologe, best staff, marketing department. Esther Ararire, best staff, accounts and finance department. Gladys Oza, best staff, administration department. And Jocinta Omofonke, best artist of the year. Management commends you for hard work, commitment and discipline which helped the organization to achieve its goals in 2021. We look forward to a greater performance in the year 2022. Once again, congratulations. Signed, Management.
You are my
Hooray! The management and staff of Delta Broadcasting Service Warri felicitate with the founder of Anchor of Hope Church, Reverend Thomas Okote, as he clocks 70. As you celebrate this great milestone, we wish you good health, long life, and more prosperity. You are renowned for your humanitarian works targeted at uplifting the lives of young people, and we pray that God Almighty will continue to increase you. You are renowned for your humanitarian works targeted at uplifting the lives of young people, and we pray that God Almighty will continue to increase you so that you will continue to be a blessing to your generation. Congratulations once again, and God bless you.
Welcome back. February 13 every year is observed as World Radio Day as proclaimed by the United Nations General Assembly in 2012. From available data, radio is one of the most trusted and widely used media. It has provided affordable access to information in real time and professional coverage about matters of public interest, as well as guaranteed distant learning and entertainment. Bridging the gap between traditional and state-of-the-art technologies, radio now offers a variety of content through different devices and formats such as podcast and multimedia websites. Recent world events said the COVID-19 pandemic have eroded trust in the media in general, fueled by the circulation of false content rapidly spreading on social media. Studies reveal a global decline in trust in the internet and social network. They show a rise in overall trust in the news. And many citizens still have greater confidence in radio than in other media. Digital access to information is far from being equal, with huge differences remaining between regions and between communities. In comparison, radio remains affordable and can be listened to anywhere or everywhere, even when electricity or connectivity is not reliable. It is also diverse and inclusive. Community radio, for instance, reaches out to those underrepresented in the mainstream and social media who may feel better understood and fairly portrayed and consequently trust their local station. On the occasion of World Radio Day 2022, the United Nations Educational, Scientific, Cultural Organization calls on radio stations to celebrate the day through three sub-themes: trust in radio journalism, which entails producing independent and high-quality content; trust and accessibility, which entails taking care of your audience; and trust viability of radio stations, which focuses on ensuring competitiveness. Earlier, to bring the report that the member representing Brutu Federal Constituency at the National Assembly, Honorable Julius Pondi, on Saturday inaugurated a town hall project at Brutu Community, Brutu Local Government Area. Honorable Pondi said the project was part of his electioneering promises to his constituents. The event was attended by politicians and prominent Ijaw community leaders, including the Delta South PDP chairman, Chief Julius Takeme, the lawmaker in the Delta State House of Assembly, Honorable Super Forteta, the Brutu Council chairman, Honorable Godnose Angeli, amongst others. The report.
The Brutu Community Ultramodern Town Hall complex, which was built and furnished by the member representing Brutu Federal Constituency and the National Assembly, Honorable Julius Pondi, as part of his constituency project, comprises 2 offices, conference hall, and sanitary conveniences. The project, which got 100 million naira, according to Honorable Pondi, has air conditioners, ceiling fans, 50 kVA generator plant, and perimeter fence. The federal lawmaker said that he observed during his electioneering campaigns in 2015 and 2019 that the community, which is the headquarters of the Brutu local government area, deserves a befitting and ultra-modern hall. Honorable Pondi expressed optimism that the ultra-modern hall will further unite the people, strengthen the existing peace, as well as attract more development to the community.
I noticed that being the headquarters of the local government, we will not have a big car. One had the opportunity by way of constituency let me give. And they never requested for it. But my greatest joy that they appreciate for the constituency. So I hope that they can have very clean atmosphere to deliberate.
Inaugurating the project, the chairman of the PDP, Delta South Central District, Chief Julius Takeme, commended the federal lawmaker for the constituency project, which will change the landscape of the Brutu town and be an abode for all to meet to deliberate on the development of the community. The member representing Brutu Constituency 1 in the Delta State House of Assembly, Honorable Asupa Forteta, and the chairman of Brutu Council, Honorable Godnose Angele, charged the people of Brutu community to make good use of the ultra-modern hall. The chairman of Brutu community, Comrade Ekisa Ibizimo, lauded Honorable Julius Pondi for the project, saying he has written his name in gold.
For a legislator to go outside his primary assignment, because we are aware that your primary assignment is lawmaking, you leave that lawmaking, go out and influence this kind of project. And not just ordinary project, people-oriented. We are here gathered today to deliberate. You can see that we are not sweating any longer. So I want to thank you. So I see project like this. I'm happy with it. Also.
We are happy
Because we have a vibrant leader here. That's why you have faced this way. Remove politics. I'm saying this directly because I know what is happening in Nigeria.
This magnificent edifice and donated to foster and enhance leadership and communalism for the people of the Brutu community.
The Special Advisor to Governor Ifeanyi Okowa on Braced Commission, Mr. Ignatius Zakeha, also witnessed the laudable event.
Governor Ifeanyi Okowa has called on communities having boundary disputes leading to communal crisis and loss of lives to embrace peace to pave way for meaningful and sustainable development. Governor Okowa made a call on Saturday at the funeral service of late Professor Abednego Ekoko, which was held at St. Paul's Anglican Church Uzeri in Isoko South local government area of the state. The report.
Governor Okowa noted that no land is worth the life of any individual and urged the Isoko people to embrace peace in honor of Professor Ekoko, who was an accomplished boundary scholar. He said Professor Ekoko contributed immensely to the peaceful resolution of the Alaja Ogbujo crisis and other boundary issues across the country when he served as National Commissioner, National Boundaries Commission. The governor urged the leadership of Isoko Development Union, IDU, and the Christian community to organize a collective prayer to rededicate the land to God.
A positive drive to turn things around for peace. They will do that is right. But may it be possible, and God will make it possible, for the ITU and the church and the two council chairmen to come together to do that, which I believe in my heart is right to do.
Earlier in his sermon, Bishop of Ole Diocese, Church of Nigeria, Anglican Communion, Right Reverend John Arwakbo, said Professor Ekoko was a man who worked for peace across the country. He described him as a man who was an active singer and worshipper of God, adding that his death was a great loss to Christendom, even as he said Professor Ekoko worshipped God even through pains and sickness. The cleric urged Christians to live in peace and shun the spirit of bitterness and acrimony for peaceful coexistence. The service, which featured prayers for the cleansing of Isoko land, attracted dignitaries from academia and the political class. A reception was thereafter held for guests at the Uzeri Grammar School, Uzeri. Delta State Commissioner for Higher Education, Professor Patrick Mobogari, his children, relatives, and other associates described the late Professor Ekoko as a peace builder.
And Professor Ekoko was identified with peace building within and across communities. Then the least we can do in memory of him is to ensure that peace prevails in our communities.
The fact that he's a lover of education, I want to further my education to where I can get to. That's what I remember my father for. The lives he impacted, ever willing to change every opportunity that he has to affect your life. He was a life changer and he's always wanting to create an impact in anybody's life that comes his way.
He's somebody that loves peace, just as it was said about him in the church. He was interested in reconciliation. He served in several boundary commissions. He was instrumental to peace, even in our own Ogbuja Alaja. He lived a life that is worthy of emulation. He will be greatly missed because he has not actually, we'll miss him a lot.
Earlier, a symposium and service of songs were held to commence the burial rites of Professor Abednego Ekoko. Professor Abednego Ekoko, aged 79, is survived by his wife, children, and other relatives.
The federal government says the introduction of the Treasury Single Account TSA has reduced corruption in the country by 80 to 90%. Director General Bureau of Public Service Reforms Dasuki Arabi said the implementation was initially difficult for citizens to accept, noting that the TSA had impacted positively on the economy and in the fight against corruption in public services. Arabi recalled that there were problems with some agencies at the early stage because some ran their services based on what they generated, adding that the government digitalization process made it possible to track goods coming into Nigeria. He explained that for any container coming in from China, the bill of lading and other documents are electronically transmitted to Nigeria, adding that the Federal Inland Revenue Services, Nigerian Customs Service, Nigerian Port Authority, and Shippers Council were also involved in the monitoring. Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency (NIMASA) has disclosed efforts to put the 50 billion naira modular floating dockyard into use, having reached an advanced stage, adding that the facility is still in good shape. NIMASA Dr. Bashir Jammu disclosed this when he met with the Admiral Superintendent of the Naval Dockyard Limited, Rear Admiral Koyat Levy, on a working visit. Dr. Bashir Jamo appreciated the Nigerian Navy for hosting and securing the agency's floating dock since its arrival in the country, a move he said has ensured absolute security for the facility. The NIMASA boss also used the opportunity to undertake an on-the-spot assessment of the floating dock. On arrival of the NIMASA DG and his team, Rear Admiral Koyat Levy assured the Nigerian Navy would continue to support the agency, bearing in mind that safeguarding the Nigerian territorial waters is a collective responsibility of all critical stakeholders. Meanwhile, the floating dockyard, which is expected to bridge the dry docking facility gap in the Nigerian maritime industry as well as raise additional revenue for the government, had been described by the Infrastructure Concession Regulatory Commission (ICRC) as a profitable investment by government. It would be recalled that the federal government had given approval for the Transportation Ministry to deploy the asset on a public-private partnership (PPP) basis, and the NIMASA is working in conjunction with the Nigerian Port Authority (NPA) to utilize facilities at the Continental Shipyard in Apapa. The National Identity Management Commission says that the National Identification Number Verification Service Portal has been fully restored. In a statement, Kayode Adegoke, in charge of the Commission's corporate communications, said that the National Identification Number Verification Service Portal, which went down a few days ago, was due to maintenance by one of the Commission's network service provider of its infrastructure. Adegoke called on customers and service providers to take advantage of the two verification platforms, tokenization and NVS, which are both effective for verification and authentication of the national identification number. The Commission, however, expressed gratitude to Nigerians and promised to be innovative in its service to ensure quality delivery. Thousands of telecommunications subscribers nationwide seeking to retrieve their lost subscribe identity module cards or acquire new lines were left stranded following the technical hitch in the NIMC portal, which granted SIM-related services. Now on to sports rather. Nigerians national women's basketball team, the Tigers, have qualified for the 2022 FIBA World Cup after a tense win over Mali on Sunday in Belgrade. Despite a 20-point lead at the start of the fourth quarter, the Malians made a game of it and moved to within 2 points of their Nigerian opponent in the last seconds of the encounter that ended 73 to 69 points. Coach Otis sent out a starting five of Promise Amukumara, Adiora Elunu, Atonye, Odiora Chipsdom, and Victoria Macaulay against Mali, whom the Tigers beat in the final of the 2021 AfroBasket tournament. Amukamara made the first point from a free throw after a foul by Atesu Tori, and she also made the second. Totti replied for the physically aggressive Malians, who knew they had to beat Nigeria ladies to stand any chance of qualification. The first quarter was like a war of attrition as the lead went back and forth, but the Malians ended the quarter with a 2-point lead, 22-20. Ami Okonkwo made it 22-22 with 2 free throws after being fouled by Kamite. Nasari Troye gave the Malians the lead again with a jump shot. Atonye drew Nigerian level at 24 points with 2 free throws, and the Tigers went ahead for the first time after taking the lead at the beginning of the game through Elunu. The lead turned over to the Malians with 4 minutes left on the second quarter clock through Nasaria Troye. Ying Gifa gave Nigeria back the lead and then added a free throw to give the Tigers a 2-point lead. From there, the Nigerian ladies never looked back and they ended the second quarter with a 7-point lead at 42-35 points. The Tigers drew stronger and took the lead to 20 as they ended the third quarter 64-44. In the fourth quarter, the Malians fought back and built the lead down to 6 with less than 2 minutes on the clock, at which point Coach Othis called for a timeout. Nigerian called a timeout with 14 seconds left on the clock. Yingifa was fouled and made 2 free throws to give Nigeria a 4-point lead, and that was how it ended, sending the Tigers to the second consecutive appearance in the FIBA World Cup. Congratulations to the Tigers. Nigerian-born UFC middleweight champion Israel Adesanya on Sunday defeated Australia's Robert Whittaker via unanimous decision to retain his middleweight title. Adesanya retained the MMA middleweight king of the world after he defeated rival Robert Whittaker via unanimous decision in the championship main event of UFC 2071 at the Toyota Center in Austin, Texas. In what was a rematch of their first fight 2.5 years ago, Adesanya's ability to control distance, counter-strike, and defensive wrestling were too much for his Australian-born challenger to overcome as the last sidebender took his UFC round record to 22-1. Adesanya took the belts from Whittaker to kick off his title reign at 185 pounds, and the Nigerian has now added the main affectionately known as Bobby Kotick to the list of the challengers who have failed to take his crown. With the win over Whittaker, Adesanya now has 1 or more wins against everyone in the top 5 of the middleweight division outside of Jared Colonia. The win is also Adesanya's 11th consecutive victory as a middleweight in the UFC, only 2 behind the record set by UFC legend, talking about Anderson Silva, as the last stylebender continues to cement his legacy as one of the greatest to ever step foot in the octagon. And still on sports, Omasule Football Club in Amai, Ukwane local government area of Delta State, has won the trophy of this year's Odozi Obodo Peace and Unity Football Tournament, put together to engender peace and groom young talent for the sporting world. The reports.
The final match of the 2022 Odozi Obodo football tournament was played between Ishikaguma and Umoselu football clubs in Ekum Primary School field in Amai. It was a thrilling encounter as both teams struggled to hit the target. It eventually ended in a penalty shootout with Umoselu football club defeating Ishikaguma team 5-4. Initiator of the annual Odozi Obodo football tournament, Chief Godi Abo, said he is using sports like football to unify the youth and redirect their hearts to meaningful ventures. Chief Abo, who said the aim of the football tournament has been achieved, stated that the large turnout of persons points to the peace that pervaded all through the period of the competition. He said that there was the need to harness young talent in the game of football and groom them to the point that they can represent the state and Nigeria at large in international football competitions. Others who spoke included the chairman of Ukwani local government, Mr. Possible Ajede, and the secretary of the People's Democratic Party in the state, Mr. Daniel Sai, hailed the Odozi Obodo Foundation for the football tournament, adding that more of such programs will be put in place to guide the youth to actualize their potentials.
Since football is one of the most unifying factors, I decided to cast my mind down to my own kingdom, my kingdom, to be able to use football to unite the 5 quarters that we have.
It's worthy of emulation, because this is what the youth need at this time. Encourage them. They are taking what the promoter of this event is doing. It's actually encourage the youth and push them out of thinking of going into all those social crises that is damaging the
Trophy and cash prizes went to the winners of the football tournament, Umueselu Football Club, while the second place Ishikaguma Football Club and third place Umuekun Football Clubs were given medals and consolation prizes.
A sad report just recently says Delta State government has shut down the private school where a 1.5-year-old pupil allegedly died from flogging. The pupil, simply identified as Obina, of Arise and Shine Nursery and Primary School, Camp 74 in Asaba Shimili, South Local Government area of the state, was alleged to have fallen into coma and later died on Saturday as a result of the 31 strokes of cane he received from the school proprietress, Mrs. Obu, and her son. The offense of the deceased pupil, it was gathered, was simply for playing with water and getting wet in the process. Following the sad development, the State Commissioner for Primary Education, Honorable Shika Osai, has sealed the school, saying the state government will not relent in its effort in ensuring that all illegal schools across the state are closed down. The commissioner, who spoke through the Permanent Secretary, Basic and Secondary Education, Mr. Austin Oburu, said the school has not registered and not recognized by the Delta State government. While sympathizing with the family of the deceased, the commissioner said that the state government will not leave any stone unturned in investigating the circumstances surrounding the ugly act. It is disclosed that police has arrested the proprietors of the school and her son that were involved in the alleged crime, and investigation is on. We really sympathize with the family and hope that justice will take its course. We go now to the foreign scene. The United States Secretary of State Antony Blinken has said that the threat of Russian military action in Ukraine justifies evacuating the U.S. Embassy in Kiev. Former Nicaraguan rebel leader Hugo Torres has died in prison at the age of 73. Details of this from our foreign scene.
The United States Secretary of State Antony Blinken said the imminent threat of Russian military action in Ukraine justifies evacuating the U.S. Embassy in Kiev. Blinken's statement came after Ukraine's president urged calm, saying the biggest enemy was panic. More than a dozen countries have urged their citizens to leave Ukraine. Moscow, with more than 100,000 troops near the border, has denied plans to invade the country. Kremlin's top foreign policy advisor Yuri Usakov has dismissed U.S. warning of an attack, saying hysteria has reached its peak. In a phone call, President Joe Biden warned Russia leader Vladimir Putin of swift and severe course of Russia sent in troops. Former Nicaraguan rebel leader Hugo Torres has died in prison at the age of 73, 8 months after being detained on treason charges. The retired Army general fought alongside current President Daniel Ortega during the country's revolution, helping to free him from jail in 1974. But he later accused Mr. Ortega of becoming a dictator and founder of an opposition party. He was one of the opposition figures arrested ahead of last year's election. Torres was seen as one of the heroes of Sandinista revolution against the brutal dictatorship of Anastasio Somoza in 1970s. 13 people have been injured after a mezzanine flood collapsed at an East London pub. Firefighters rescued 7 people who were trapped after the incident. Paramedics said 3 people were seriously hurt and 10 more had minor injuries. 4 were taken to hospital and major trauma centers. Brian Jordan, strategic commander at London Ambulance Service said the collapse was treated as a major incident and teams from the air ambulance were sent to the site.
And with those reports from the foreign scene, we come to an end of the DRTV main news. But before we go, take two of our highlights. The People's Democratic Party (PDP) has emerged the winner of the chairmanship election held on Saturday in Wari Area Council of the Federal Capital Territory (FCT). John Gabanya, who is the incumbent chairman and candidate of the PDP, polled 13,045 votes to defeat his closest challenger Aruna Shekwelo of the All Progressive Congress, who got 7,697 votes. Governor Ifeanyi Okowa will on Tuesday, February 15, 2022, inaugurate the chairman and members of the reconstituted Delta State Traditional Rulers Council. A statement by the secretary to the state government, Patrick Hooker, said the inauguration will take place at the Delta State Traditional Rulers Council Secretariat of Miriam Babangida Road, Asaba, beginning at 12 noon. And that's it on the DRTV main news. Stay tuned for more program on the station, and always remember to give someone a reason to smile. Good evening.